There's not actually a lot to say with this one this time. This is one of those wacky ideas that just sort of popped up, and I think it's about time I had a crack at it, instead of just constantly running over the idea in my head. A couple of things to note here and now: this is not a historical tank. The camo is freehand, the numbers do not match the tank or the camouflage, and the features most likely aren't correct either, and I don't really care because basically I'm using this as a bit of a go to try and figure out how to do an old looking photo on a tank, really. How I approached this idea was to go through a rather large amount of photos of tigers in the war, and that's basically any tiger of any production era. And the reason why I did this was because I wanted to see how the photos taken looked, and basically how the light affected the camouflage or, just things in general. And what I found as a couple of key points is that tigers with damage to the zimmerit, to the point of there being chunks missing, more often than not showed up as a very light grey or white in those areas. And depending on the angle of the tank and the sun, the camouflage patterns actually disappeared altogether in some. What this meant is that basically anywhere with camouflage essentially became a light grey to white in most cases, and I had to sort of figure out which sort of angle I was going to try and replicate this from. So I landed on the front right, aiming towards the back left of the tank. As for the film grain touches and general noise that you'd see in old photos, I basically made up some very watered down black ink and paint, and I spread it across it here and there, and sort of went around the wheels on the shadowy side to get the rubber to pop a little bit more, correcting the overdone spots with a sponge brush and white pigment. There isn't too much to say past that, really. It was just basically a matter of looking at a pile of photos and simply having a go. But other than that, the paints that I used were by SMS, Null Oil by Citadel, and Snow Pigment by Tamiya. So that's about it. Enjoy the rest of the process, I guess, and take care.